Welcome. You're tuned into Tangled Threads. If you're digging our content, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you. In the early years of our marriage, Jenna and I were the embodiment of a dream team. From our first encounter at a college orientation, our connection was undeniable. We navigated through life's ups and downs with a shared laughter and understanding that seemed to make everything easier. Jenna, with her meticulous nature, complemented my more laid-back approach. She was the type to double-check every lock before bed, leaving our home feeling like the safest place on earth. But as time passed, the fabric of our relationship began to show signs of wear. It was the little things at first, a distance in Jenna's gaze, late-night texts that she'd quickly shield from view, and then the backdoor incidents. It started happening more frequently than I could dismiss as mere forgetfulness. Each time I discovered the back door unlocked after a long day at work, Jenna's excuses grew thinner, her apologies less sincere. It was the small shifts in Jenna's behavior that first caught my attention. Guardedness with her phone, unexplained absences, and a distance that had crept into her once warm gaze. But nothing was as disconcerting as the recurring issue with our back door. The first few times I found the back door unlocked after returning from work, I brushed it off as an oversight. Jenna's assurances that she must have forgotten to lock it after stepping out seemed reasonable, albeit out of character for someone so vigilant about our safety. But as this oversight turned into a frequent occurrence, her explanations rang hollow. The back door wasn't just being left unlocked, it felt like a deliberate act, a puzzle piece that didn't fit. Driven by a mix of suspicion and the need for clarity, I installed a hidden camera overlooking the back door. It was a decision that weighed heavily on me, feeling like a violation of the trust and privacy that had been pillars of our marriage. Yet, the unsettling feeling in my gut left me no choice but to seek the truth. The truth, when it came, was a gut punch. The camera captured footage of a man entering our home through the back door, a door left unlocked for him by Jenna. Their embrace and kiss shattered any remnants of denial I had clung to. The backdoor incidents weren't just forgetfulness, they were evidence of Jenna's infidelity, a betrayal that cut deep into the heart of our marriage. Faced with this undeniable proof, I knew our marriage couldn't be salvaged. The trust we had built was irreparably broken. I arranged for divorce papers, a step that felt both surreal and necessary. The day I left the papers on the kitchen counter for Jenna to find, a part of me still hoped for an explanation, for some shred of the woman I thought I knew to emerge and make sense of the chaos. Jenna's reaction was a mix of shock, anger, and attempts at justification. But the words that might have once soothed or explained away doubts now felt empty. The breach of trust was too profound, the damage too deep. The decision to leave, to walk away from the life and love I had known with Jenna, was one of the most difficult choices I've ever made. Leaving behind the home we shared, the back door became a symbol not just of Jenna's betrayal, but of a chapter in my life coming to a close. It was a painful lesson in trust, in the realization that the security we build with those we love can be fragile, vulnerable to the choices and actions of those we least expect. As I moved forward, the weight of betrayal eventually gave way to a sense of liberation and the beginnings of healing. The decision to leave, born out of a need to preserve my own sense of self-worth and trust, marked the start of a new journey. A journey not just towards forgiveness, but towards rediscovering trust and the possibility of love beyond the shadow of betrayal. Update. Months have passed since the day I confronted the reality of Jenna's infidelity and our subsequent divorce. The journey from that point of betrayal to where I stand now has been anything but straightforward. It's been a period of introspection, healing, and, unexpectedly, growth. In the aftermath of the divorce, my life felt like a ship adrift, untethered from the life I had known with Jenna. The routines we shared, the future we envisioned, and the trust I had placed in her were all swept away in the wake of her betrayal. Initially, the pain and anger threatened to define my days. I found myself oscillating between disbelief and a deep sense of loss. The back door, once a mundane detail of our home, had become a symbol of the secrecy and lies that unraveled our marriage. In the legal aftermath, however, one of the most significant outcomes was Jenna's entitlement to alimony, or rather, the lack thereof. Throughout the proceedings, I was adamant about not allowing the betrayal to further impact my financial future. With the evidence of her infidelity and a solid legal team, the court ruled in my favor, leaving Jenna without any claim to alimony. This decision wasn't about vengeance, but rather a firm boundary against rewarding deceit and betrayal. It was a clear-cut end to a chapter that needed closure, allowing me to move forward without the added burden of financial ties to someone who had shattered our vows. This outcome served as a stark reminder of the consequences of our actions, not only on an emotional and personal level, but legally and financially as well. It underscored the importance of integrity and honesty in the foundation of a marriage, something Jenna chose to disregard, ultimately at her own expense. As the weeks turned into months, the acute pain of Jenna's betrayal began to fade, giving way to a more reflective state of mind. I sought solace in therapy, a decision that helped me navigate the complex emotions that come with such a profound loss. It was during these sessions that I began to understand the importance of forgiveness, not for Jenna's sake, but for my own peace of mind. Holding on to bitterness and resentment was only poisoning my well-being, anchoring me to a past I needed to move beyond. I also leaned into my hobbies and interests, activities I had neglected during the turmoil of my marriage's end. Photography, once a passionate pastime, became a therapeutic outlet, allowing me to capture the world through a lens that sought beauty in the mundane. Each photograph served as a reminder that there is still wonder to be found in the world, even amidst personal upheaval. Reconnecting with old friends and making new ones also played a pivotal role in my healing process. These relationships, built on shared interests and mutual support, helped fill the void left by Jenna's absence. Through these connections, I discovered a sense of community and belonging that had been missing towards the end of our marriage. Perhaps the most surprising development in my journey has been the gradual reopening of my heart to the possibility of love. While I'm not actively seeking a relationship, the bitterness that once clouded my view of romantic connections has begun to dissipate. I've come to realize that Jenna's actions, while deeply hurtful, do not define the capacity for love and trust inherent in all of us. The betrayal was a part of my story, but it doesn't have to dictate the narrative of my future. Looking back, the unlocked back door, once a symbol of betrayal, has taken on a new meaning. It represents a passage through which I've stepped into a new chapter of my life, one marked by self-discovery, resilience, and an openness to whatever comes next. While the scars of the past may never fully fade, they serve as reminders of the strength I found within myself to overcome the pain and emerge stronger on the other side. As I continue to navigate this journey, I am grateful for the lessons learned and the growth experienced. The road to healing is seldom straight, but with each step forward, I find myself more equipped to embrace the uncertainties of life with a renewed sense of hope and optimism. Jesus, man. I'm glad you were able to get out of that situation and lead on a better life. A lot of women have zero respect these days, and it's sad to see. I know it's not easy, but you're doing all the right things. I know that you'll make it through fine. But until then, stay strong. Anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.